welcome to Mystic Minds. I want to talk today about uh, something that a lot of people that's on their spiritual path or their spiritual journey go through. As far as like, I'm going to speak on myself, but a lot of people look at where you are today, where you live, how you dress, all of those things that really don't matter, um, and they judge you, but they don't know the sacrifices you made in order to bring happiness to yourself and to follow the path that God wants you on. They may look down on you and judge you because you're not wearing name brand clothes. That doesn't make a difference to me anymore. Because I know the clothes don't make me. I'm not driving a fancy car, things of that nature. Um, None of those things can bring me happiness. I'm happy with me. I don't need a nice car, or I don't need fancy clothes. I gave all of that up. I made sacrifices because when I was, okay, let me back up. When I was married, I had a nice truck to drive, I had nice clothes, but I was not happy in that situation. So, a lot of times when you go through your spiritual ascension and start ascending, you realize all of that stuff doesn't matter, and you sacrifice it. Jobs, uh, like I said, homes, relationships. If something is not making you happy, the best thing to do, like if your environment, whether it's being in a relationship, living with somebody, whatever it is, isn't making you happy, or you feel stuck, stagnant, like you're not going any higher than that, and you're just comfortable, there's no room for elevation. So basically, I made a lot of sacrifices to be able to free myself. And sometimes people around you, family, friends, they don't understand the moves that you're making, but it's not for them to understand it. It's only for you to understand. But a lot of times they don't understand the moves that you're making, and they tend to gossip and talk crazy and things of that nature. But like I said, it's a journey between you and God. So when you follow the path that God has put you on, then things tend to come a little easier when you're in alignment. When you're not in alignment, a lot of times, but let me say this, they don't always come easy. Things don't always come easy right away. it depends on the lesson God wants you to learn. Sometimes He wants you to learn patience. And I'm realizing that's one of the biggest lessons that God is teaching me is patience and faith. If you don't have faith in God, then it's like you're going nowhere, because that's how God moves. You gotta have faith in God in order for Him to work His magic. You gotta have faith in God for Him to work His magic in your life. And a lot of times, like I said, it comes with big sacrifice. Sometimes you have to cut friends. Sometimes you have to cut family. At the end of the day, those are just titles. We're all souls when it comes down to it. And if your soul is not meshing with, if your soul is not meshing with those other souls, if they're not in alignment with where you're going and what you're trying to accomplish, then really it's just dead weight. But let me speak on this. Some people look at you, like me, for instance. I got a divorce and I had to start over. I mean, before I was married, I had a nice condo in a nice neighborhood, and I had my own vehicle, my bills were paid, I was fine. And then that's when my karmic lesson started, when I met my ex-husband. I rushed into a marriage too quickly, and my lesson began. Before I met him, I was single for 3 years before that. But I say that to say this. As when I was in a marriage, I started losing myself as an independent person. Instead of getting into a marriage and being interdependent, we both became codependent. And like I said, everything was good when I met him. But as time went on, I started to take on his burdens, and then I lost my pay, I lost money, I started losing things. But it wasn't so evident to me in the beginning, because yeah, I got some things that were nice, but like we ended up moving into a house. I found a house for us to move to because my condo got too small for the 3 of us instead of just me and my daughter. So as time went on, I started losing things. My car, which was running just fine, in pristine condition, all of a sudden it's like I would take my car to the shop to get just brakes done, and ever since then it was like one thing after another going downhill with that car. Like it was always something, and we just kept putting money into it, and then my ex-husband convinced me to just scrap it and get the money for it. So I did. And like I said, I started losing all the things that were mine. When we moved in that house, we didn't set up my computer. We both had computers. We didn't set up my computer. We put it in the basement. Basement floods. I have no more computer. He has a computer still, but I don't have a computer anymore. Just things of that nature, and it just once I started to awaken and really started like loving on myself and nurturing myself, a lot of things started to come. um, Basically I started to see all the things that I had lost along the way. um, I used to have a whole lot of gold, rings on every finger, multiple necklaces. you know I was like, I don't wear anything fake, and all of that. And over time I ended up pawning all of my stuff just to pay bills at certain times, and lost everything I had. Before I met him, I pretty much lost almost everything that I had. So once I awakened, I realized that I will never go down that path again. The lesson was learned, and it was time for me to go and and start over being more wise instead of jumping into relationships because of loneliness and things of that nature. But going back to us being codependent, when we first got together, I I was bringing in the income and had the shelter, like condo, and the ride, you know, and then things started flipping. I lost my income. He gained income, but his car went down, so he started using my car, to go to work. And I'm like, I'm fine with that until things started going wrong with my vehicle. And then he gets his vehicle fixed, and now what? I'm out of a car. Then his vehicle goes down again. We went through things like that. And that should have been a big eye opener in the beginning. But when you're not ascended, things like that, you're still in the 3D world, and things like that, you just don't pay attention to. So he started going he started going up as far as like money and getting vehicles and things of that nature. And I was just kind of complacent and just there. So basically the roles had kind of flipped, besides the fact that the home was in my name. But things flipped. So um I still paid part half the bills, but it was just like a lot of tension because I had a lot of health issues. And it's like, you know, why don't you get a job and blah 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 blah. And it was hard for me. But then um after that point, I realized, like I said, once I started to ascend, that I have to figure out a plan to move on, get my life back to how it was before I even got in this marriage. So I did so. Um, God blessed me with a job that I was able to work long enough to get the money to pay for my divorce, to move. He showed me how to get a divorce on my own without any lawyers and things of that nature. He showed me how to, he just started pointing me in the right direction, and things just started kind of like falling in my lap, basically, in order for me to um, move out. And it's funny because my place was being held up. Um, and like I said, this journey is about patience because my place was being held up because they were putting in new windows and things of that nature and painting, and I was like, man, why is it taking so long? And then all of a sudden, I get divorced one day, and then the next day, boom, my place was ready for me to move. So basically, I moved a couple days after I got divorced. But I didn't get a place in a fancy neighborhood or anything of that nature. I got what I could get at that time. I just wanted to be free. So, like I said, people will judge you and look at you like, oh, you live in the hood and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I have my own roof. My house is clean, bug free, rodent free. I don't have to, um, my house stays the same because when I say the same, I mean clean. Uh, because I don't have other adults that mess up and expect for you to clean up. Um, so I say that to say this. People look at where you are right now and assume that you're broke or you just want them for their money and things of that nature when they don't even know anything about you, where you came from, because growing up I didn't live in the hood, and my parents definitely don't live in the hood. And I mean, I can't say that I come from parents with with, I guess you can say, money, but I'm living the way that I'm living because I choose not to be codependent on them. I choose not to be like, yeah, I don't have a car right now. I don't have a vehicle right now. But I'm not on the phone every other week like, mom and dad, can you send me this? Can you take care of me? Can you do this, do that? No. I'd rather live in peace and not depend on them for anything, because when God takes me to when He elevates me to where I'm supposed to be completely, I don't want to hear about I did this and I did that and gimme, 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 even though they have money. There's not going to be any gimme, 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 because what I'm doing by myself. Besides, I mean, my daughter, she's a sweetheart and she helps out in any way she can for anybody. So it's just me and her, and you know, once God takes, blesses us, I'm gone. We're gone. We're gone. Like, it's not gonna be any, you know, still sitting here. I believe that my time in this place, in this neighborhood, in this home, is almost done, and it's time for us to move on. And um, yeah, but never judge a book by its cover, because you never know what things that people have sacrificed, things, people, all of that. Never judge anybody by what they're going through currently, because that is a part of the journey and it's not the end of the journey. It's pretty much just the beginning. So I think I've talked long enough. Thanks for tuning in to Mystic Minds, and have a blessed day. Help someone when you can help them, and I guess that's it. Until next time, like, share, and subscribe. Bye.